Hi, this is Francisco Bujan from vitalcoaching.com, and we are talking about spiritual power. The topic for this video is reconnect with the planet. One of the key ways to gain back your power, if you feel that your power has been gone for a while, maybe you are too stressed up, maybe you are entangled within work or relationship or marriage or in a situation you don't really enjoy. One of the ways to get back your power is to reconnect with nature, to reconnect with the planet. Look at nature or the planet like your ultimate home. If everything was gone, if your house, job, profession, money, everything was gone, what would be left is you in nature. And you in nature means that your spirit is still alive, right? Your spirit doesn't die, it doesn't go away. If you have nothing left and you end up being in nature, you are still alive as a human being. And this is something that gives you a huge confidence and power kick. It's like having some form of life insurance that you can use anytime. The moment you engage into life knowing that, and knowing that you will be all right no matter what, that your spirit simply doesn't die, then this gives you this kind of backup energy that you can use in any situation. It actually reinforces the core of your being to a point where you feel this strength and this inner power that cannot be taken away. Your spirit is yours. It's always there. It never betrays you. It never goes away. Even if everything else is gone, all the material things that you have are gone, then even when that is gone, you still have your spirit, you still have yourself, you still have your body, your being. And within that core, you can find an incredible amount of strength and power. Why? Because everything that you have in your life, all the material things can be gone, really. Those ones can, they are temporary. Within 20 or within 100 years, 95% of what you have in your life right now would be gone. All this disappears, but your spirit stays, your spirit remains. So when you start building your security in life, you start building your power and rely on the material things in your existence, you rely on your house or rely on your bank account or these kind of things, this does not give you real strength and real power, because you always feel vulnerable. You always are afraid of losing it. And this creates a sense of insecurity. Now, when you realize that your spirit is still there, then this gives you precisely the power kick and the confidence that you're looking for. Now, how do you do that? Well, something that I did some years ago is that I took off in nature and went and lived in nature like for 6 months to see what was happening. And to a certain extent, I was forced by circumstances, by events, to go that way, to really test myself. I mean, my life or my destiny took me to that point where I had to test myself to see what was behind there. So I followed my instinct and simply trusted it. And I went to live in nature for 6 months. I stayed in the forest. I lived with hardly anything, maybe on $2, $3, $5 a day, simply for food. I was buying food from shops, from villages I was coming across. But what it did teach me something. It is that my spirit doesn't die. Even in the moment where everything is gone, friends, family, everything, absolutely everything, then there is still this spirit, this force, which is still there. And this gives you such a power kick, this gives you such a confidence in life, because you realize that this cannot be taken away. Even when you relax, when you let everything go, your spirit rebuilds itself from that very core. And this is, it's magnificent. It's such an experience that, I know that once you know that, once you realize it, once you experience it, it changes your life forever. And how do you do that? Again, you need the presence of nature, because within nature you have all the human patterns of energy which are contained. Within the vibration of nature there is harmony, there is love, there is the connection with a unified field of energy which is contained within nature. Everything in nature is alive with life force, right? The trees, the plants, the animals, all these contain this life force. And in the core of your being, in the core of your energy, etheric body, this is how the patterns are created. We have something in common in the sense that we are humans and nature are both alive with the same patterns. This is why when you go in nature and respect nature, you actually reverberate this kind of harmony into your system and reconnect with a sense of life force which is there around you all the time. And what you have to do is very simple and it's very clear. You need to feel comfortable within nature. Think about experiences that you had in nature. For instance, if you had been trekking, for instance, for a while, and after a couple of days you feel like you have to go back home, you have to go back to the comfort of your house. Now imagine what happens if you don't go back, if you simply stay in nature, if you actually stay in nature on and on. If you need to wash yourself, you just wash yourself in a river. If you need to eat, you find sources of food in nature and all that. Imagine what happens after a while. You become one with this environment, and this again strengthens your power, strengthens your energy, and gives you a huge, massive confidence kick. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that you have to go and do it, okay? I'm not saying that you have to go and leave your job, your family behind, and take off and live in nature for 6 months. If you want to do something like that, that's fine, it's I think a life experience that will change you forever. But you can take small steps. You can start by, going in nature more frequently, or taking off for treks for 2-3 days and see how you can survive in nature. Taking really the minimum, you don't take a 50 kilos backpack with stuff that you don't need. You take really the minimum and see how your mind, body, and energies respond to this environment. You meditate there, you do some physical exercise, you might sing or play music, or do something which is going to recreate the lines of communication between you and nature. There are lots of ways of reactivating this contact, this connection, and I will maybe talk about this more in another video. For now, remember this: when you go back in nature, you reconnect with very ancient sources of energy in your system, and these need to stay awake long term. We cannot get rid of them because they represent our sources of power, harmony, and love, and having them awake really gives you a certain quality about life, which is really essential. It's harmony. If you think of modern cities and very busy, active, polluted environments, this being in nature is really what most of us are craving for in terms of building up a sense of harmony and beauty, bringing these qualities back into our systems. And when you go in nature, it's there everywhere. You merge with it, you merge with these sources of energy, and this gives you in itself a massive power, beauty, and harmony kick. Okay? You take care and have a great day. Bye bye.